Dark Scorpion back with another camp creepypasta. Don't mind the background noise, but this is chapter 9, Toby's Ticks. Okay, sometime happened after you got back from Leo's cabin. Toby started to tick. What I mean by tick is that he began to twitch and crack like crazy, and he wasn't able to stop. He sat on your bed with his knees to his chest and watched him. You sat on your bed with your knees to your chest and you watched him. He was not having a good time. He was bending his body in an odd way, causing his bones to crack every few seconds. Also, he was having a cussing fit. His back was facing you. Sorry. So he had no idea you were watching him while he twitched and cursed. You had no idea what to do. Should you see if he's okay, or should you just leave him alone? Because this might be normal. This might be a normal thing. You decided to see if he was okay. He was having a cussing fit. I don't think someone was okay if they were swearing. Making up your mind, you slowly got off the bed and tiptoed over to Toby. You gently put your hand on his shoulders. Toby, are you okay? You asked. Doesn't it look like crack? I'm okay, he stuttered. You were hurt by his words. Hold on a second. Sorry. My sister. You were hurt by his words. He never got mad at you before. Even though his words didn't hurt you. Even though his words did hurt you, you weren't mad. You knew that this was something he hated, and he had no right to be upset. He had a right to be upset. So, being the caring friend you were, you decided to comfort him. Slowly, you crept onto his bed and sat next to him. Toby was about to protest and tell you to leave him alone, but you didn't. When you suddenly brought him into a hug, you could feel Toby tense up, but after a few seconds he calmed down. Toby was completely taken back by your actions. This had never happened before. When he was going through one of these, when he was little, people would always make fun of him and laugh. Only his sister and mother would comfort him. But since he was Mostly at school, no one would comfort him. Once he started homeschooling, he thought thought it would be different. But he's good for nothing. But his good for nothing father didn't let that happen. Let's just say Toby wasn't used to be comforted by anyone that wasn't his mom or sister. Wyan, what are crack you doing? He said nervously. Isn't it obvious, Toby? You laughed. You're clearly not happy and you need someone to comfort you. He didn't say anything after that. He just sat there and let you hug him. Of course, there were times where Toby's body would jerk into a weird position and you would have to move a little bit, but other than that, you two were comfortably sitting. Completely still. Other than that, you two were completely still. The longer you sat there, the more Toby's heartbeat quickened, and pink began to glow on his cheeks. He was so thankful you couldn't see the pink because of his goggles and mask. Toby had no idea what was happening. He was falling for you? Well, to him, you wouldn't. To him, who wouldn't? You were funny, had an amazing personality, beautiful, and most of all, you didn't mind the twitching and cracking. Sorry. After he realized that, Toby immediately fell for you. He looked at you and began to... Hold on a second. Admire your chanting Ian. Ian stands for eye color. Eyes. And your soft HLHC, hair. HL stands for hair length, and then HC stands for hair color. Hair. And your flawless skin. Your eyes. You realized that Toby was staring at you, so you gave him a smile. He immediately looked away. His twitching and clicking soon stopped after a while. When it did, you let go of him. Toby didn't like that. It was getting late, and you really should be getting to bed. You jumped off Toby's bed and began to make your way to your bed, but Toby stopped you and grabbed you by your wrists. Toby? Stay, he interrupted. Hold on a second. He interrupted. You turned around to face him. Toby, I'm on the other side of the room, you said. Oh, the other room said. It's not like I'm going anywhere. Toby kept his head down as he was blushing like crazy. He wanted you to stay with him in his bed. He just loved being in your arms. The thing was, he didn't know how to tell you. Toby sure had fell in hard for you. Never mind. he said before laying down and facing away from you. You shrugged your shoulders and hopped into your bed, completely unsure of what was happening. Poor you. Poor you. Poor you. You had no idea Toby liked you. Aw. Time skip. You woke up to the sound of your bed creaking. When your eyes adjusted to light, you turned your head to see Toby next to you. Sorry. You screamed and ended up rolling off the bed. He surprised you. Toby looked over the side of the bed to see you squilling across the floor. "Morning, Ryan," he said happily. You sat up and rubbed your head. Good morning, Toby," you said in a not so happy voice. Sorry, guys. Oh, God. That's when you heard a knock on your door. Toby jumped off your bed, then ran over to the nightstand where his goggles and mask sat. He grabbed them and quickly put them on before running over to the door. When he opened the door, he found Splendor Man waiting for him. Splendor Man. They're so close. I want to say Slender Man at first. I'm like, oh no, Splendor Man. Splendor. Yeah. Good morning, you two. Good morning, you two. He chuckled. Hi, Toby grinned with confidence in his voice. What are you doing here? Oh, I'm here to tell you that tonight our campers will be fighting against each other to see how their progress, how they're progressing. Splendy said happily. Toby turned around to look at you. You could tell he had no idea what was going on. You shrugged your shoulders. I wasn't told about this, Toby said, turning back around to face Splendy. Of course. Oh, of course you hadn't, Splendy said. No one knows when one of those will happen. It's so you will give me a second. It's so you will constantly train. All right. We'll be there, Toby said. Great. Great. And with that, Splendy skipped off. But before Toby closed the door, Splendy stopped. Wait, he said. Just one last thing. You need to know. Campers are allowed to kill each other. So I hope you have been training hard those last couple days. Woo! Kill each other. So they can kill each other. That's, oh God. So that is the end of chapter 9, Toby's Ticks. So, yeah. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.